Welcome to my channel, All Things Militia, where I discuss a lot about what's going on in the political world, but also topics that pertain to everyday life in general. If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you guys. If you see a video that you like, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button for me. Leave a comment down below because I want to get your thoughts on the topics I'm discussing. Share the video, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. You can do all those things, and don't forget to subscribe. So I wanted to come on here real quick tonight, you guys, and do another political reflection. This is prior to the 2024 election. And I'm very passionate about this, you guys, because I started following politics back in 2010 when I just happened to come across a interview that Minister Louis Farrakhan was doing on the Kathy Hughes show on VH1. And I was just drawn in by his words and what he was saying about, the state of our government and how it affects us. And so I started listening to Minister Louis Farrakhan, and around that time, like I've shared before, he was talking about a leader in Libya by the name of Muammar Gaddafi. And so I saw, prior to the West assassination of him, I saw how our media covered him in our news, and how he was covered in his country. And I was like, this is two totally different stories that's been, put out there. And so after they succeeded in assassinating him, I never looked at our news media the same. And anyone they put out for the negative, I have to believe is something good about him. Hence why I am for Trump. Not to say he's perfect. None of us are. None of us get it right all the time. But it was something about the way that they covered Trump that made me feel like, okay, it must be something good about this guy for them to be so adamant, so persistent with trying to put him out in a bad light. And like I said, he's been a well-known figure for decades before he got into the political arena, and he was admired. They put him out he was in all type of commercials, Pizza Hut commercials, Home Alone movies. I mean, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episodes, and mentioning rap songs. Okay, he promoted boxing matches with Mike Tyson, and he was just had his hands in a lot of different things, and he was well known and well beloved. And let me just tell you how he was treated. Let him tell you how he was treated prior to becoming a politician.
A special hello to all of you. And
before I go all the way off into that, you guys, let me just say this. This is the Al Smith dinner that he had back in 2016, where he and Hillary Clinton roasted each other. This is like a tradition that our politicians do prior to the election or during the election, where they roast each other in good faith. And he roasted her. He roasted her ass. So if you have not seen this, okay, if you have not seen the 2016 Al Smith dinner, you need to watch it. If I can, I will do another video specifically with just this Al Smith dinner alone. But let's continue.
Who have known and loved me.
Talking about the politicians.
For many, many years. It's true. The politicians. They've had me to their homes. They've introduced me to their children. I've become their best friends in many instances. They've asked for my endorsement, and they always wanted my money. And even called me really a dear, dear friend. But then, suddenly, decided when I ran for president as a Republican,
keyword,
that I've always been a no-good, rotten, disgusting scoundrel. And they totally forgot about me. But that's okay. And
that's what's interesting, you guys. These people love this guy. But right when he announced that he was going to run for president as a Republican, that's when they all turned on him. I mean, so many people turned on him that once spake favorably of him. It was just like, what the heck is really going on up in here? You never seen so many hollyweird stars and music industry puppets coming out speaking bad about a man after he ran for political office, you didn't hear nothing prior to like this. It wasn't until after he ran for political office that all of these people, like they just had a conference, some type of meeting to come together to come against him. It was just interesting. And so that was the Al Smith dinner. Like I said, if I get a chance, I'll try to come back on here and do a video of that, because that was I watched that so many times, you guys. That was a classic dinner. But now we're going to go to an interview of Trump, because he just said how, they loved him once upon a time. All of the politicians loved him, and the music industry stars. All of them liked Trump prior to him running for president. Here's a clip of him in 1988 on the Oprah Winfrey Show, confirming that. She's confirming it.
It's various celebrities in New York, because it was the opening concert in New York, and there were all kinds of celebrities, very, very famous people coming in to be seated, and that when you were seated, you got the loudest applause. People stood up and roared and cheered when you walked in. Why is that? What is this fascination?
I don't know, maybe I should be a rock star. By the way,
they thought you were going to moonwalk.
He was great, I have to say. No, I did get I don't know why. I really don't know why. I wish I could pinpoint it. I wish I could really tell you why. But I think I've done a good job.
I can tell
in New
you
York,
why. They did that because they admired him. Why else will people stand up and give a guy an applause that are already superstars and like themselves? Okay, they did that because they admired him. Many people admired this man until he ran for political office, which lets me know that this establishment has hollyweird actors and actresses in their pockets, and have music industry puppets in their pockets, and have corporations in their pockets, because for all of them to come together simultaneously to hate this man after he announced he was going to run for president on the Republican side is very telling. Let's continue.
A charitable job in a sense, and Trump Tower has become such a success, and it's as you and I were discussing, it's become the #1 attraction in New York, Trump Tower, and I think people recognize it. New York people are really proud of it, and people,
so you've sort of become like a folk hero. I mean, people. There's someone in this audience. I was reading the audience list. Some man who's a businessman. You can tell me.
And notice how Oprah is another one that can't really speak good. She had to change her tune on Trump. So it just shows that these people are bought and paid for. And I'll never forget, it was a rapper by the name of Boosie, a little thug rapper, that made a statement saying that it's no way you can say you're a free person when you are like a millionaire and you can't speak your mind on things. Okay, you have to be told what you can and can't say. Okay, when you can't speak freely and you have to go along to get along, you're not free. And that's what's happened to a lot of them, including her.
Who went to New York and just wanted to stand by your building, hoping some of the luck would run off.
Is that true? Is he in this audience?
He's in this audience.
We have to find him.
Yeah. And so how do you explain that? Or is there an explanation?
I believe that you make your own luck to a large extent. Well, the word luck is a very important word, very important. There's no more important word than luck, but you can help create or help make your own luck. I walk down the street a lot of times, and people will touch me, and they'll grab for me, and I used to really be insulted because I'm a private guy. I'd say, geez, that's horrible. Somebody punches you in the arm a little bit, and you're just walking down the street, and then ultimately I became in a sense honored by that, because people are really looking for something. Unfortunately, I don't think that has any effect. I don't think it works. I think you have to go out and really work hard and do well, and you have to have the ability to do it.
You took out a full-page ad in major U.S. newspapers last year criticizing U.S. foreign policy. What would you do differently, Donald?
You guys.
Make our allies. Forgetting about the enemies. The enemies you can't talk to.
You guys, this was an interview in 1988, almost 30 years ago. And listen to what he's saying. This man is not a typical politician. He's been consistent with his stance on the state of our country for decades.
I'd make our allies pay their fair share. We're a debtor nation. Something's going to happen over the next number of years with this country, because you can't keep going on losing $200 billion, and yet we let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade. If you ever go to Japan right now and try to sell something, forget about it, Oprah. Just forget about it. It's almost impossible. They don't have laws against it. They just make it impossible. They come over here, they sell their cars, their VCRs, they knock the hell out of our companies. And, hey, I have tremendous respect for the Japanese people. I mean, you can respect somebody that's beating the hell out of you, but they are beating the hell out of this country. Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet they're not paying. We make it possible for them to sell their oil. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke.
This sounds like political.
You hear what he said? Same stance, talking about trade. Years later, same stance. It's not free trade. They come over here and dump stuff over here, and we get taxed, but then we weren't taxing them reportedly. So yeah, it wasn't an evil playing field. Well, not evil. I'm sorry, even playing field. I'm just thinking about these Democrats in the media when I said evil.
Presidential talk to me, and I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
Probably not, but I do get tired of seeing the country ripped.
Why would you not?
I just don't think I really have the inclination to do it. I love what I'm doing. I really like it.
Also, it doesn't pay as well.
No, it doesn't. But, you know, I just probably wouldn't do it, Oprah. I probably...
If you don't know, President Trump was the first president, if I'm not mistaken, that was already a billionaire before he got into the office of president. And not only that, he donates his presidential salary to charity. He did it during his first term, and I believe he's doing it during his second term as well. Unlike other politicians who come in and grift off of the office and become multi-millionaires when they're supposed to be public servants to us. Yeah.
But I do get tired of seeing what's happening with this country. And if it got so bad, I would never want to rule it out totally, because I really am tired of seeing what's happening with this country, how we're really making other people live like kings and we're not.
What do you think of this year's president?
Look, he said a word right there. We're really making other people live like kings and we're not. Look at how these people roll out the red carpet for illegal immigrants. All nationalities, Somalians, all the fraud that's been found in that community. Okay, the Hispanics and Mexicans, whatever, that cross the border, they come over here and in no time they're setting up shop, tire shops, restaurants, insurance companies. Okay, and in no time you got Middle Eastern people in the gas stations. Okay, you got Indians, it's every ethnic group of people that have come to America and have benefited. And I didn't even know, I just learned that they were allowed to get business loans without paying taxes on them for several years. So of course it's going to be easier for you to get ahead if you are being given tax-free loans, okay, and being given the opportunity to get loans, unlike people that have been here all alone and have been discriminated against, hence redlining, which is another thing, like I've stated before, that President Trump cut out. Redlining, a policy. So it's just interesting, you guys, how he has been consistent within his stance. And, you know, like I said, he's not a typical politician. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to here, because that was in 1988. So here we go, fast forward so many years later, when President Trump ran, he got elected in 2016. And after, 2016, they just, the media went ham. The reporters were disrespectful. You would never thought a president would be treated the way that he was. You had celebrities threatening to blow up the White House. You had a picture of Snoop Dogg doing a little animated thing of showing himself in a cartoon figure blowing off President Trump's head or shooting him in the head. You had, I think her name was Kathy Griffin, coming out with a fake severed head of Donald Trump. So it was so much like promotion of violence from the left and their bought and paid for hollyweird puppets and music industry puppets. It was given. You never seen it like that for any other president besides President Trump. So I was just thinking, he ran in 2016, he won, they impeached him, yada yada, they did everything, got him, tried to take him off social media, did everything that they could do. And they got him successfully staged a coup, in my opinion, and got him out of office and installed the former corrupt senile president in office. So it was around November 2022, reportedly, when President Trump announced that he was going to run again for president. And after that happened, guess what happened shortly after that? Donald Trump was first criminally indicted on March the 30th of 2023 by a Manhattan grand jury, making him the first former U.S. president to face criminal charges. This initial indictment involved 34 felony counts of falsifying business records related to hush money payments. And you got people that actually believe that those felonies were legit. Okay, they came out literally a few months after he announced he was going to run again. All of a sudden he gets indicted for falsifying business records. He's been a businessman all his life. You couldn't find nothing else? Okay, these people did everything. They had the fake Russia collusion hoax where you had Hillary Clinton try to frame him saying he colluded with Russia to steal the election that she lost, okay, after she stole it, reportedly from Bernie Sanders. She wasn't supposed to be the front runner. So it's just interesting. They did everything that they could, tried to take his name off the ballot, raided his home, did everything, gave him a mugshot over something that was personal, his business. Not him stealing from taxpayers like they've been doing, okay? Not him money laundering like they've been doing over the years, but falsifying some business records. 34 felony counts. Give me a break. And then it says right here, key details regarding the first charges. The case details, the charges were filed by the Manhattan District Attorney regarding payments made in 2016. Charges, so 2016, that's when he won. Okay, so that's when he beat crooked Hillary Clinton. And I'm willing to bet she was behind a lot of this stuff because she's, in New York. And it was a New York attorney general that went after Trump. So how convenient that in the same state that Hillary, the one that lost not only to Trump, but she lost to Obama too back in, 2012 when she ran, was it 2012? When she ran against Obama, or one of them years, but she lost to him first and then turned around and lost to President Trump. 34 felony counts for falsifying business records in the first degree. And on May 30th, 2024, he was found guilty on all 34 counts. How convenient in an election year that they had to hurry up and speed this process up because their whole agenda was to keep him from becoming reelected because they had an establishment that's been set up for decades. And this man is going to throw off what we've had established, which is corruption. Why do you think they had a problem with DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency? Anything that's for we the people, getting illegal immigrants out of here. They want to stage these fake protests and try to using judges to harbor illegal immigrants. Going hard to keep their fraud and their corruption in check. And they ain't doing a darn thing for the American people. And you still have people that will support a party that has done nothing for them because the media tells them that someone is a racist. Give me a break. So this was in Manhattan when this happened, you guys. Regarding 2016, they wanted to say. But this was filed on March 30th of 2023. And guess who the Attorney General was in Manhattan, New York at that time? Well, why, oh, why, oh, why? Big Tish James. Isn't that a coincidence? The woman that ran on going after Trump. She literally ran her campaign for Attorney General on going after a sitting president. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you are in a position of law, I thought justice was supposed to be blind. I thought you're supposed to wait. It's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. But these people were already prepared to target a sitting president. He was sitting in 2016. Okay, then he, had the former senile corrupt president, that Sleepy Joe for he wasn't even in charge. He wasn't in charge. But it's just interesting how she was used, because it wasn't her. if we be honest, in this country, a black woman targets a white man that was once a president. Who was behind putting her up to do it? I bet you Hillary Clinton had something to do with this. I'm willing to bet my whole life savings and paid her well to make a fool of herself, just like they did with Crockett. Look at this. This is before she became the Attorney General, what she was saying.
America is an uncharted territory. We are angrier and more deeply divided than we've ever been at any point in our history.
Yeah, because
since
you
the
are.
Civil War. And at the eye of the storm is Donald Trump.
And let me just say this. Americans ain't divided, baby. We ain't divided. If anything, we're divided against y'all corrupt ass politicians. Because if you look at the election map of 2024, Americans were not divided, baby. It was almost a Red Sea. So all this that they like to keep, this rhetoric they like to keep spewing, oh, we're more divided than ever before. Oh, we're on the wrong track. Oh, we're on this. Oh, yeah, we on the right track. Because he cutting out a lot of y'all corruption and fraud that y'all have had going on for years. And you use these Negroes, these ignorant Negroes, if I might say, okay, they put them up in the forefront to try to keep their corruption and fraud going. We'll pay y'all some money and let you get some limelight. And then these same people have many in the black community fooled because they see somebody in a position of power and they think, oh, this must be somebody. They got it going on. They the Attorney General. They making money. They coming after Trump. They going to get his ass. They going to get that white racist supremacist. Meanwhile, not knowing that these black tokens are the ones that are being used to keep them on the plantation.
Ripping families apart. Threatening women's most basic rights.
What is a right?
For Attorney General.
Threatening women's most basic rights. Because he's pro-life, he's threatening women's most basic rights. They call that a right to kill. Okay? And it's just interesting what they promote, you guys.
Because I will never be afraid to challenge this illegitimate president when our fundamental rights are at stake. From the Muslim ban to efforts to deport immigrants.
Illegal.
Denying transgender students the ability to choose whatever bathroom they want. Rolling back regulations.
See how crazy we're getting? See how crazy society has become under these people? They're trying to have us all. It should be us. Men are men for a reason. Women are women for a reason. We are not the same. They were trying to change everything. Make little kids change their sex before they even hit puberty. Letting men walk around here in high heels and leotards. Women walking around here looking like Mike Tyson. Trying to really just destroy God's creation as how he intended it for it to be. And then want us to call right wrong and wrong right. The devil is a liar.
Our planet, colluding with foreign powers, putting profits over people.
Like y'all.
Dividing us in ways we haven't seen in general.
Look how deceptive this enemy is. Saying everything that they've been doing, he's doing. Everything that they were found to be doing, they're trying to say that he's doing.
Corruption in Albany, environmental hazards in Buffalo, and a criminal justice system, unfortunately, which has criminalized too many black and brown people. We can do better than this.
Not evil.
We need to reform a criminal justice system. We need to end cash bail. We need more alternatives to incarceration. We don't need trial by ambush, which means we have to reform our discovery laws in the state of New York. We should not criminalize mental illness or poverty. And we also need to reform a grand jury system which is cloaked in secrecy. It's important that we all understand. At one point in the history of this country, they went after several immigrant groups. And now they're going after Muslims. And they're going after other individuals. And now we're all in the same boat together. And that's why we've got to stand up. We've got to stand tall. We've got to stand for our freedom and our Constitution and our democracy. And at a time when Congress, particularly Republicans, do not have a backbone.
Now, I agree with her on that. I agree with her because it ain't no way in hell that this Democrat Party would be this establishing wickedness if these Republicans had a backbone. And a lot of them have been complicit too. Okay, a lot of them have gotten kickbacks and got paid too. Okay, to go along to get along.
Democrats put some steel in their backbone and fight back. I believe that this president is incompetent.
Who cares?
I believe that this president is ill-equipped to serve.
You believe he's incompetent, but you didn't have a damn thing to say about that former corrupt senile president that had been in politics for decades, grifting off of the American people, ain't did a damn thing for the American people. On video saying how he committed quid pro quo, paid a prosecutor, okay, paid some foreign leader to get rid of a prosecutor that was about to investigate his crackhead son, literally on videotape confessing the crimes. Y'all didn't have nothing to say about none of that. On videotape saying how they invented the most inclusive and extensive voter fraud system in this country. On video! You can look it up right now. But they didn't have nothing to say about that. That's why I say these people are full of crap.
In the highest office of this land. And I believe that he is an embarrassment to all that we stand for. He should be charged with obstructing justice. I believe that the president of these...
She's saying all of this before she was elected or installed, I would think, in that position. Now you're running for attorney general, and this is how you're talking. Somebody put her up to it, and I'm willing to bet that it was the wicked witch of the West, Hillary Clinton.
States can be indicted for criminal offenses, and we will join with law enforcement and other attorneys general across this nation in removing this president from office. In addition to that, the office of Attorney General will continue to follow the money because we believe that he's engaged in a pattern and practice of money laundering money from foreign governments here in New York State, and particularly related to his real estate
Okay, enough of this bull crap. These people are full-blown hypocrites. Full-blown hypocrites. First of all, as an attorney general, like I said, you are innocent until proven guilty. That's the way the law used to be. Okay, no one is above the law, but you're innocent until proven guilty. How are you going to be running for this office going after someone, targeting someone? A president, that was a president on top of that. So you know someone put this guy, can I get one pass, God? This black, I can't, okay. You lucky, he said, peace be still. Okay, I'm gonna go on, you guys. Like I said, after they did all of that targeting President Trump, like he was going in and out of court, getting mugshot. They even had her fat ass, sorry God, it slipped, sitting up in court while he was in trial, looking over there, trying to get his reaction because somebody sent her there to get a shot for the media, and you had all these people making out that he was so bad and he's a dictator and he's an authoritarian and he's a threat to our democracy, and then Biden, old ass, couldn't even remember nothing, not even his name. He's on TV saying how he was married to himself and giving up secrets of the Democrat Party, mind gone just like the wind. And I knew that it was something was going to have to give because Biden it was just becoming too obvious. They couldn't keep him hidden like they did the majority of his presidency. Okay, he rarely talked to the press, took like almost 2 months after he was installed to come out and have a press conference because they knew he wasn't mentally cognitive, and then wanted to turn around and talk about Trump's cognitive ability, but didn't have a darn thing to say about this old senile, corrupt, perverted man. At any rate, after they saw that he was going to run again and everything that they were doing was failing, because even after they got the mugshot and raided Mar-a-Lago, Trump's poll numbers continued to go up. So it was inevitable that he was going to become the front runner of the Republican Party, despite everything that they had done over the past 10 years to try to keep this man from holding office. And even when he got in office, tried to do everything they could to see him fail. Who wants to see their leader fail? Whatever, if you're my leader and I want to see you fail, that means I'm going to fail. Dumbass. Why would you want someone that's over you to fail? Stupid ass people. God. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm on the road tonight. But yeah, after they saw that, even after the mugshot, the raid, taking his name off the ballot, everything, that going after his kids, going after his business, going after his Trump Tower, keeping them in the media every day with their bottom paper, late night talk show hosts and talk shows like the Spew, aka The View. Okay, after they had all this going on and on and on and nothing was working, they had to figure out something to do because they had to make Biden, debate him. And when Biden debated him, it was live television. So, they couldn't hide the fact that Biden's brain was just as gone as theirs. And so this is a statement that Biden made after Trump and he debated that had a lot of people mad and upset, because literally a few days after Biden made this statement, was when that assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania was made on President Trump's life, that they wanted to say was staged as well.
Now, in another interview with NBC that has just been released today, which is his first televised interview since Donald Trump was almost shot dead on stage, the president was happy to lecture the country on rhetoric, which is important. We need that message to be crystal clear, but refuses to apologise for the language he used in the days leading up to this assassination attempt.
Let's talk about the conversation this has started, and it's really about language, what we say out loud and the consequences of those. You called your opponent an existential threat on a call a week ago. You said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. There's some dispute about the content.
Literally said it's time to put Trump in a bullseye. Okay, and this was after they did everything. He's on television all the time. These MAGA Republicans are extremists. Anybody that supported Trump, these MAGA Republicans are extremists. Hillary Clinton, they're calling his supporters a basket of deplorables and calling us irredeemable, which a lot of people were happy to get that from her, because they were like, if a witch is upset with you and a witch thinks bad of you, then you must be on the right side. And you are. You very well are. But this is the things that these people were saying on that side, while at the same time trying to claim that the other side was hateful and the other side was a threat. How is someone a threat that's ducking bullets? How is someone a threat that's constantly being bullied in the media night after night, day after day? I mean, and you a billionaire? You think if I was a billionaire, I would put up with this bull crap? God must have really had it on his heart, or had him anointed for this time, because there's no way in the world, if I'm a billionaire, that I'm going to put myself through the ringer like this, where I have to see people that I once was cool with turn on me. People that was once giving me accolades, now they got to turn on me so they won't lose their money because they bought and paid for it. Okay, Oprah Winfrey, Snoop Dogg, all these people that had all these favorable things to say about Trump, okay, all of a sudden turn on him after he runs for political office. You think I'll be dealing with this day in and day out? The disrespect, and all I'm trying to do is make America great again, do something good for the country. I'm already a made man. I could go live my life anywhere I want to in the world, but I'm trying to fight for this country because I see the direction it's going in, and it's not a healthy direction. When you have a party that ain't promoting nothing but abortion and transgenders, okay, and illegal immigrants, and money laundering, and hate, and godlessness. Continue with this senile man.
But I think you appreciate that.
I didn't say
words
crosshairs. I was talking about focus on. Look, the truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time,
you said what you said.
There's very little focus on Trump's agenda.
Yeah, the term is bull.
So you're trying to make it say, you're trying to say that you didn't mean to put Trump, you didn't mean to say it that way, that to put him in a bullseye. Okay, this you meant to say, and this is the interview that happened after Trump, because after he made that statement, a few days later, Trump was, like I said, the assassination attempt happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. Thank God they didn't succeed. But now he's trying to say he didn't mean it that way. He meant to say, let's focus on Trump. That don't even make no goddamn sense, because that's all the hell y'all been doing since he announced he was going to run for office back in 2015. You done had your media on him nonstop like a hawk all 10 years. If you get any more focus on him, you will be him.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him.
Okay, mistake. Oops.
Man, these people are full of crap. I'm going to top this off, though, you guys. Let me simmer down, because I get passionate when I'm talking about stuff like this, because I love to call out these demons. But I'm going to simmer down. And like I said, that was after this happened. Okay, the assassination attempt on President Trump that happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. That's when people started coming out like really hard against the media, because they were saying this is what you guys are inciting. You guys are inciting violence towards this man. And even after his assassination attempt, I heard people saying, dang, they missed. Like, people were upset because they missed. Now, this is how sick we've become, where we're wishing death upon a man because of how the media has put him out, a corrupt ass media that's the arm of a party that ain't did a goddamn thing for this country. And I'll let Alex Jones go ahead and top us off tonight on this.
Podcasts say, hey, they may take both Trump. I mean, it seems like we're barreling towards assassination levels with Trump. They may take both Biden and Trump out because they're both so inconvenient. Do you still believe that?
This was before the first assassination attempt that we knew of in Butler, Pennsylvania. This was Alex Jones' prediction prior to that.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing that the controlled left does that nobody watches or listens to really anymore that has an IQ above room temperature, they're like, oh, yeah, someone will kill Trump, ridiculous. That assassination is part of statecraft throughout history. And if they have somebody kill Trump, that can create division between left and right. And then also, I think if they do kill Trump, they're going to kill Biden or try. And then that makes Biden a liability, a martyr.
And look how President, let me let this play, you guys. I'm gonna turn this down while this ad plays.
Make lunch with me while I tell you all.
And look how Biden aged like so quickly. Okay, let me just making sure I'm paying attention to the ads. But look how fast Biden aged. I mean, over just a few years. That man went from looking somewhat healthy to just looking like he was just completely gone. Then we wonder why we didn't see him while they busy talking about he's the most mentally and physically and most popular president with 81 million votes. Without early campaigning, he got 81 million votes. Here we go. Let's go back to Alex Jones.
If you look at the trajectory of everything they're doing failing and getting
Everything
more
failed.
cartoonesque by the day, I mean, I think it is in the cards. I mean, they got the hit teams ready. I mean, believe me, the deep state has got teams ready to kill Trump, ready to kill Biden. Will they do it by poison? Will they shoot him in the public? They may go the poison route, or they may just go spectacular public execution.
I'm getting chills watching this. This was from Christmas time when we did this. I cannot believe the accuracy of this prediction. They may go spectacular public execution. What did we just witness?
They go the poison route, or they may just go spectacular public execution. Claim a left-winger did it. Then claim, Trump supporters did a truck bomb in response. I mean, we're not in Kansas anymore. You look at that southern border, 15,000 a day coming across. It was 12,000 a month ago that we know of. 80% get away. So it's like, many times that. We're talking, 100,000 or more a day. I mean, this is America in collapse. We're a ruling elite. We're trying to fend off the Russians, the Chinese, everybody else, while trying to keep their wife. They've been breaking her arm and knocking her teeth out, slapping her around. And now, at midnight, the wife-beating drunk wakes up and he sees his wife with the kids loading into her sister's car, and we're already driving down the road. So, I mean, he can run out and kind of shoot at the car with a shotgun. That'll just give him a bigger prison sentence. We're gone. We're in the car. We got a broken nose, broken arm, and we're never coming back. Democratic Party's over. And, I mean, that's it. They're a wife-beating, literal child-molesting, devil-worshiping group of scum.
I couldn't have said it any better, you guys. I couldn't have said it any better. The Democrat Party is over. Like he said, they're a child-beating, devil-worshiping, child-molesting group of scum. Okay, and I remember a lawyer by the name of Lynn Wood that came out after they stole the 2020 election, in my opinion. And he stated, this is a lawyer that was he was a defamation lawyer for several years. They took a lot of stuff off the internet, so I don't know if you'll be able to find it or not. If I can find it, I may show it in a future video. But a defamation lawyer for many years, came out in front of a crowd of people and said that the Bushes, the Clintons, and I believe either the Bidens or the Obamas, not sure which one of them two, but for sure the Clintons and the Bushes were involved in trafficking. Okay, a defamation lawyer said that of many years, and you can't come out and make a statement like that unless you have some type of proof of that. Okay, so it's just interesting how we've all been kind of like bamboozled and dumbed down over the years to what's actually going on, and I'm just so thankful that we have social media now where we're able to see things that we would have never known if we had to depend on the arm of Satan for our communication and our information. So I'm going to leave it like right there, you guys. And before I leave it like that, I want to make one more statement, because I remember when I was watching Minister Farrakhan, and he warned America about assassinating Trump during one of his Savior Day speeches, and he said that that wouldn't be a good idea. But he did state that any time they can't control you, they will move to kill you. And that has been proven. But I would say when God is on your side, it don't matter who comes out against you. Say, if I be for you, who can be against you? The whole world can be against you. But when God has an agenda for a person, whether you like the person or not, God's will prevail. Even when he spake, and I know I didn't cuss during this video, and now I'm quoting scripture, so forgive me. But even when God told David, or that had anointed David to be king, and David had, fought and killed Goliath for Israel, and Saul loved him after he did that. But when Saul heard the people give David a better compliment than him, then a spirit of jealousy came on him heavily, to the point where he wanted to kill David and conspired to kill David on multiple occasions. Now, he was a king, and he was not able to succeed in what he was trying to do, because God used his own son to inform David of what his father was doing, and even used him on a couple of occasions when he was delivered into David's hand, where David could have killed him, to tell David, I know that you are next in line, because what man will find his enemy and let him go? And you've been more righteous than me. And that he let him go has spared his life, even after knowing he was coming for his life. So no matter what the enemy tries to do, and neither Saul or David were perfect, but God did say David was a man after his own heart, although David did a lot of stuff himself with, Bathsheba and Uriah and things like that. So when people try to make like, oh, God ain't using you, God uses good, and he's in control of good and evil. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. He's in control of good and evil. And no matter what a person tries to do, no matter what position they hold, how many guns they have, how many knives they have, if God say you're going to live, you're going to live. If God says you're going to rule, you're going to rule. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, you guys. Have a good night. I'll see you later.